she considered us living in a Marin City and devalued our home based off of that.
Yeah, and saw blackface.
So they decided to put their suspicions to a test. They requested yet another appraisal and got a female friend who was white to come to the house to meet the appraiser to make it look like this was her house. But that's not all they did. They also removed any evidence that black people even lived there, a process that's been called whitewashing.
Took down everything that resembled that this home belonged to us.
Yeah, or to an African-American family.
Yeah, art, pictures.
Even, I would say, even my hair products, I put them away so that someone would be tipped off by them.
A different appraiser, also a white woman according to the Austins, who visited the house in February of 2020, came back with a valuation of more than $1,482,500, an appraisal 49% higher than the previous one. In dollars, that's a $487,500 difference between two appraisals that came about 3 weeks apart.
Property values going up or down based on certain ethnic groups' presence within a neighborhood is something that's been going on within this country and all over the world ever since civilization has existed. But given here in the United States our history with things like redlining and obviously everything that happened back before that, this is something African Americans have been facing for decades in modern times as well. And this is some of why the American right wing, especially outlets like Fox News, One American News Network, Newsmax, what have you, fight so adamantly against things like critical race theory being taught, because it shows that whoever controls the culture really controls what's perceived and deemed to be valuable within that culture and within that society. And as, minority groups are slowly turning into the majority, as more and more people migrate to the United States, as the melting pot continues to expand, the American right wing is very, very afraid of things like this becoming a thing of the past. Not only did this couple switch identities with a white friend so that the appraisers could come in and think that they weren't serving a black couple, but they also removed all evidence that anybody black lived in that house, which again shows the power of culture and the power of identity, because white America intentionally created a structure for itself from the beginning to where they could isolate themselves from all others. Now, over time, that has eroded more and more and more, but again, the power of culture, this also transitions over into the corporate world. This is why the professional image where you're supposed to be buttoned up and have none of this going on and, none of this going on, or whatever it is your style is, that you just, however it is you like to express yourself. Not just how you dress yourself, but how you actually go about things, how you challenge things you don't agree with. Any of that is pressed down because it keeps you in place, which again shows the power not just of economics and money and resources, but also the power of culture, because this reflects into value just being an idea in people's heads. If a black family and a white family can be swapped out and all of a sudden its value is more, it's all in the imagination anyway. And as my brother pointed out, $156 billion lost within black neighborhoods, all because of the idea of value. This family in this particular situation showed that this appraiser valued the home almost $500,000 more for the single white woman without the evidence of the black family in the house versus when she knew she was serving the black couple. And this is again why we have to continue not only to express ourselves and be ourselves, but as we talk about all the time, show up to the polls, but not just show up to the polls. Encourage your friends to run. Encourage your pastor to run if he's a good person and he does good work in the community. If you know that somebody has a passion for civic engagement, get them involved in the process. And we'll not just get them involved in the process, but stay on them afterwards, because at the end of the day, that's really what's going to end up making the difference, not just in 2022 and 2024, but as we completely reshape and restructure the socioeconomic fabric of the United States.